This is day 25 of Advent of Code 2024 Done Go, and this challenge is called Code Chronicle. Out of ideas and time, the historians agree they should go back to check the Chief Historian's office one last time, just in case he went back there without you noticing. When you get there, you're surprised to discover that the door to his office is locked. You can hear someone inside, but knocking yields no response. The locks on this floor are all fancy, expensive virtual versions of the 5-pin tumbler locks. So you contact North Pole Security to see if they can help open the door. Unfortunately, they've lost track of which locks are installed and which keys go with them, so the best they can do is send over schematics of every lock and every key for the floor you're on, the puzzle input. The schematics are in a cryptic file format, but they do contain manufacturer information, so you look up their support number. Our virtual 5-pin tumbler product, that's our most expensive model, way more secure than... You explain that you need to open a door and don't have a lot of time. Well, you can't know whether a key opens the lock without actually trying the key in the lock, due to quantum hidden variables, but you can rule out some of the key lock combinations. The virtual system is complicated, but part of it really is a crude simulation of a 5-pin tumbler lock, mostly for marketing reasons. If you look at the schematics, you can figure out whether a key could possibly fit in a lock. He transmits you some example schematics. So there's this, and this, all of these. The locks are schematics that have the top row filled hash and the bottom row empty. The keys have the top row empty and the bottom row filled. If you look closely, you'll see that each schematic is actually a set of columns of various heights, either extending downward from the top for locks or upward from the bottom for keys. For locks, those are the pins themselves. You can convert the pins in schematics to a list of heights, one per column. For keys, the column make up the shape of the key where it aligns with pins. Those can also be converted to a list of heights, like this. So you ignore the first row, and then you go 0, because there's nothing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like that. And this one would be ignore bottom, 5, 0, 2, 1, 3. And based on looking at it, we can see that this key fits as, assume the math is this plus this is equal to 5, or adding the same number in the column must make it equal 5. These seem like they should fit together. In the first 4 columns, the pins and keys don't overlap. However, this key cannot be this lock for this lock. In the rightmost column, the lock's pin overlap with the key, which you know because in that column the sum of the lock height and key is more than the available space. Ah, yep, 3, 3, 6, I didn't notice that. So anyway, you can narrow down the keys you'd need to try by just testing each key with each lock, which means you would have to check. Wait, you have how many locks? But the only installation that sizes at the north, you disconnect the core. In this example, converting both locks to pin heights produces this. Converting both locks to pin heights produces this, and converting all 3 keys is that. So there's overlap of these. So all columns fit. Okay, so it has to be that all of them are less than 5. Okay, so in this example, the number of unique lock key pairs that fit together without overlapping is 3. Okay, that makes sense, so let's get started. So let's start with this, and we will create, actually let's look at the input first properly. Okay, so let's take a look at the input first. So split on that, so we get all the keys and locks separated, and we will store them. So we'll store them as the number value. So locks, this will be a list, so all the locks, and each lock is a list of ints, and we do the same thing for keys. So just want to double check this. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we only need to keep track of these numbers. So we'll go for line in range lines, and we'll do key equals false. Actually, this we'll do group, because we've got a grouping of these at the moment. So we'll do if group 0 and 0 is equal to dot, so that should be above here, then key is equal to true. And there's an error here. Cannot index group 0. Ah, okay. I forgot about that. So we've got the group for what should this be? Let's do for I. Okay, no, we'll change this to group, a line, and then group is equal to splitting line, and it'll be this. So now we can do that. It'll be for I is equal to 1. I is less than 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, so less than 6. I plus plus. Actually, that I would be for like this. And actually, let's create vowels is equal to, and there'll be 5 values in this. So that's what we'll do here. Int, and then we'll also do the same thing here, but we'll do j. Except this one will be 0 and less than 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. J plus plus. We then do if group I j is equal to hash. We then do vowels I plus plus. Vowels I is for each of these. So we're iterating by I. So we start here, and then we're iterating by j going across. So if it's a hash, we're then adding it to the i's one. So that's a column. And then when we exit out of that, if key keys equals append keys vowels, otherwise it is locks. Now let's double check if that works at all. So it'll say keys. Okay, so that's not working. What is I guess? I is 5, which, okay, that makes sense why it wouldn't work, because I need to do I minus 1. Okay, let's look at this key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. So that would be the very last input. Actually, what would that be? Hard to tell if this is right or not. So maybe I need to do in here, in group. No, I should have done vowels instead of group like that. So this one is a lock. There is all that. So let's see. This doesn't look right. Maybe did I do the wrong value? Okay, so it should be J that's for that, because we're actually going left to right. So yeah, so J goes in there. Yeah, so that's more like a 0 because there's nothing in there. Then 2. Okay, now we've got it. Although this one looks wrong. It's 1, 2, 3, but it says, oh wait, it's 1 below. Okay, although that shouldn't be a 2. So look at the very right column. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that is correct. I was looking left to right initially. That's why I said that's wrong. But no, right to left. That works. Okay, so we've got the keys and locks all set up. So I guess now it's just for lock in range locks, for key in range keys. Let's do fits is equal to true. Then we do for column in range lock, and if lock column plus key column is greater than 5, fits equals false, and break. And what we do is if fits output plus plus. So let's do that. We are getting 3338, so let's submit that. And that is correct, so on to part 2. You and the historians crowd into the office, startling the chief historian awake. The historians all take turns looking confused until one asks where he's been for the last few months. I've been right here, working on this high priority request from Santa. I think the only time I ever stepped away was about a month ago when I went to grab a cup of coffee. Just then, the chief notices the time. Oh no, I'm going to be late. I must have fallen asleep trying to put the finishing touches on this chronicle, Santa requested, but now I don't have enough time to go visit the last 50 places on my list and complete the chronicle before Santa leaves. He said he needed it before tonight's sleigh launch. One of the historians holds up the list they've been using this whole time to keep track of where they've been searching. Next to each place you all visited, they checked off that place with a star. Other historians hold up their own notes they took on the journey. As the historians, how could they resist writing everything down while visiting all those historically significant places? The chief's eyes get wide. With all this, we might just have enough time to finish the chronicle. Santa said he wanted it wrapped up with a bow, so I'll call down to the wrapping department and, hey, could you bring it up to Santa? I'll need to be in my seat to watch the sleigh launch by then. You nod, and the historians quickly work to collect their notes into the final set of pages for the Chronicle. So you have enough stars to deliver the Chronicle. Using the notes from the places marked by all 50 stars, the historians finish the Chronicle, wrap it up and give it to you so you can bring it to Santa before the big sleigh launch. Santa is already in the sleigh making the final launch preparation when you arrive. You try to hand him the Chronicle, but he doesn't take it. Ho ho ho, he laughs himself. That gift isn't for me, it's for you. That Chronicle is a record of all the places you've been and people you've helped over the last decade. Thank you for everything. With that, Santa takes off in his sleigh to deliver the rest of this year's presents. Okay, well that is Advent of Code 2024 completed. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe.